Hi, welcome to today's 5-Minute Short. I'm Joshua Barnes, and I'm joined by Al Shalloway. And today we're going to talk about why you need minimum business increments. So I'll start off by just kind of hopefully painting a nice mental picture of, we often see still large projects in a lot of organizations, and large is relative. It could be 6 months, it could be 12 months, but there's oftentimes a lot of disparate functionality. It might be, all features or, enhancements of an existing product. But what we should be asking our stakeholders is, out of that, say, 6 months or 9 months or 12 months worth of work, is there something we could give you in 4 weeks? Something we could give you in 6 weeks? Something we could put into the hands of the customers and they can start getting benefit? We can get feedback from that, hopefully make a return on investment, and keep moving on. So if we can do that, the other question I'll put out there is we need to know all the things that it's going to take to get that work done. Is it just those enhancements in that single product, or are there other products that also need to have some level of enhancement? Are there supporting or operational value stream activities that also need to be done? And now that hopefully I've painted that picture, Al, I'll turn it over to you.
You said something I think is very important, because I'm sure some of the people out there are wondering, well, isn't that what an MVP is? And the answer is no. An MVP is not what am I going to build over 6 months. MVPs are when you're discovering if something is a product or not. So Joshua was talking about when you have an enhancement, when you've got some initiative that's is of value. Of course, you've got to make sure you build it right and all of that. But it's not this discovery; it's this more implementation thing. And so this is a different case. And I would actually say maybe ask 4 other questions, because I think that sets the stage for this. How do you decide which market segment is most important to you? One way is to look, well, what's the next thing I could build and deliver to a market segment? Oh, they're important because I can get them happy sooner, and then I could go to that market, and then I could go to that market. So how do you do that analysis? The process of doing that analysis is actually how you create a minimum business increment. So when you do something that you need to do anyway, you get this extra result of the MBI comes out, and it's this conversation about it that's important. You can't get there by asking, what stories do I combine? What features do I combine? This again highlights one of the big differences between Lean and Flow and say Scrum or some of the other techniques, is we're not building from the pieces, we're looking at the whole. Another one that Joshua referred to is, how do you decide what it takes to deliver value? Well, that's great, but can you build it? Okay. Do I have the knowledge? Who do I have that has the knowledge? How many of them do I have? How much does it take?
Right. And do they have the capacity to build it?
Do they have the capacity?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now this is also important, because then you're left with, well, let's see, I want to deliver the most period of time. And if I decide this is it, this is the MBI, I wouldn't want to then have another thing that's of less important interfere with the first one.
Yeah.
So if I don't know what it takes and I don't know the capacity, then these things are always going to be conflicting. And by the way, this is a common problem people are always complaining about. I suggest it might be because you don't have a way to have a discussion about it. Edgar Schein says something that we end up only really seeing what we can talk about. So if you're not talking about the equivalent of an MBI, you're not going to be actually seeing how to solve the issue. And there's one last question. Let's say you got all this great stuff. How do you align teams? It's very difficult to align teams around really big things, because you can't just work on those really big things throughout. But if you've got this minimum business increment, some things that's going to start and be done quickly, then you can get alignment, because, this minimum business increment has come up. We need to align around it, work around it, not let other things interfere with us. So the MBI gives us that as well. So when you think about it, the MBI is about what market segment's important, how are you going to deliver it, who's required to deliver it, and how do you align to focus on the most important things. Now, when you talk about it this way, how could you not need an MBI? I mean, those are essential issues.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching this either live or on replay. And if you have any questions, by all means, please put them in the chat or the post on the LinkedIn thread, and we will see you on our next 5-minute short.
Okay, and my 1 minute that humor that Joshua, you're free to block out, but As an ex-developer, when somebody said something was due in April, that meant April 30th. So we have these 5-minute shorts. And when I realized, man, I just did a 5-minute short where it was the beginning of the 5 minutes, not 7:05 toward the end of the minute, but 7:05 toward the beginning of the minute. Man, I've officially lost my development badge. Sad day.
Sad day, Al. Or good day. Bye, everyone.